We all know Green Goblin, Cyclops, Gambit, Ultron, a bunch of other Marvel characters that you might want in Marvel Rivals. But there's one character that everyone really wants in the game, and that character is Ghost Rider. Unfortunately, due to China's censorship towards skeletons and skulls within video games, unfortunately Ghost Rider may not ever see the light of day in Marvel Rivals, but 100% I could be wrong about that. But there is one Ghost Rider that technically isn't a skeleton, and that Ghost Rider is Robbie Reyes. On screen, you can see a bunch of different photos of him where it actually doesn't show any skulls. And before you say anything about his mask, which is a mask, take a look at this short clip from the Midnight Suns, where in the back of his head, it's actually blocked off and it's just a mask. And at the front, it's a full metal plate, basically. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not a skeleton, technically. Apart from that, he wears leather gloves, a leather jacket. His entire suit basically covers his body from showing any skeleton. So if any Ghost Riders come to the game, I would say this Ghost Rider would definitely be the one that the devs should pick, because technically he's not a skeleton. But that's just my take on it. Anyways, you're here for the character, I guess, concept if they were to pick Robbie Reyes. And let's get started. Here is my character reveal. First off, we have Tank Roll. I really think he would fit the Vanguard class, mainly because if he was a Vanguard, it would open up a lot of people to go and play Vanguard more and to try out a lot of other people, then have him stuck in DPS, where basically 90% of the player base is DPS players, in which no one would be able to play him. So I believe Vanguard role would be perfect for him, and I kind of put his abilities to where you would play as a Vanguard, or like not really a shield Vanguard, but basically like a dive one, kind of like Captain America or Hulk. So first off, we have Chain Strike. Swing a chain to strike enemies on third hit. Knockback enemies on third hit. Knockback enemies 5 meters. I don't know why it says hit twice, but I typed it wrong, I guess. So normally he'll just swing his chain. Keep in mind this is not infused with fire. This is just a regular chain that he swings, and on the third hit, it will knock back an enemy 5 meters. Next up, we have his left shift, which is Inferno Breath. Hold shift to breathe fire, burning enemies in a 15-meter cone. Can move while holding shift. So this is really interesting, mainly because as you're breathing fire, you're able to move, and I have a clip of what this would look like. Unfortunately, this clip, you're not going to see him move, but it'll basically be like this. Where he goes, breathes fire, and then the move is over. Next up, we have his E, Hellfire Infusion. Imbue all attacks and abilities with Hellfire for 10 seconds, burning enemies hit with any attacks or abilities. So once you hit E, you have 10 seconds to just deal a bunch of damage. Infernal Breath will already do burning damage, or have that burning effect, but that might open up to, will it do more damage? Will it not do more damage? Chain Strike will become, once you hit an enemy, it will burn them. And then Retribution, we'll talk about that here in a bit, will also become a burning effect whenever you hit someone with it. Pyro Shield, summon a wall of fire blocking projectiles. This speaks for itself. You just summon a wall in front of you and it will block projectiles. After a while, it will go away. Retribution, pull Robbie towards an enemy, stun and deal damage. I don't know, I didn't put any damage numbers, mainly because it's a concept. I'm not putting damage numbers. I did put up shield numbers, however, so people in the comments can debate whether or not, like, how much damage all this stuff can do. For the purpose of just it being a concept art, I'm not putting, or a concept or a character, I'm not putting damage. But yeah, so Robbie will hit an enemy with Retribution. It will pull him, Robbie, towards the enemy. It will stun him and deal damage. If Hellfire Infusion is active, it will, or he will gain 100 shield when he hits them, and also that will deal burning damage along with it. Now, I'm not too sure if that's fair, because you would also get stunned, you'll get burned, you'll get hit for damage, and then Robbie will be just standing there with 100 shield. like hitting you. So I'm not too sure if that makes a whole lot of sense to have that, but yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Here real quick, we have a short little clip of what that might look like. Pretty good, pretty good. Next up, we have the ultimate Helicharger. Summon Robbie's Helicharger, jumping on and driving forwards. In brackets, you wouldn't be able to move around in his ult. As you drive forward, dealing damage to whoever is in front of you, then jumping off at the end of the ultimate. So for context, if you say you're in front of your team and the enemy is in front of you, you use this ult, you're driving through the entire enemy team, you would end up in the enemy's back line, if that makes sense. And then say if you do the reverse from behind the enemies, you drive towards them, you would end up in front of your allies or your team. If that makes any sense, leave a like, I don't know. And then here's a little clip of how that would look. Obviously, it wouldn't be this dramatic, but it would be something like it. And drive, and then you're here. Next up, we have Soul Flare, and this is a passive. After an elimination, gain 25 shield if a nearby ally is under 15% HP, which is critical health. This is balanced mainly because you need to get the elimination, for one, and for two, an ally needs to be under 15% HP, which is nice in a way, but this could change 100%. Like if you get an elimination, if there's an ally near you, both you and the ally get 25 shield, which I think that would be a little bit better, but I'm not too sure. I think this is fine, but let me know in the comments. Anyways, that is it for the character concept. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you change in here? Before I do go, I know I didn't put the Penance Stare in here, mainly because every single time someone mentions the Penance Stare in their character concept, it's always a single target move that will fully eliminate anyone. So let's say Strange. So it's Ghost Rider versus Doctor Strange. Ghost Rider ults, and say the ult is the Penance Stare. He would just grab Strange and then kill him like instantly. And I feel like that would be like such a waste of an ult, mainly because your ult is just a single target, where most ults in the game, you can definitely get more than one person. And we can see that a lot through all the clips that we have, especially with Bucky and Iron Man and Psylocke and all these other characters that have huge potential for the ults. And that's why I picked this one, because it's not too broken, but it's also like has that potential to deal a bunch of damage to the entire enemy team if it really comes down to it. So again, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on the character concept, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.